Turbo is down 40% since we were celebrating all-time highs. What's going on? I thought this was the meme coin super cycle. Bags were supposed to only pump. Well, the truth of the matter is there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. There's the upcoming U.S. elections in just 2 days. That makes the markets very scared. What's Bitcoin going to do? Why it's sitting at $70,000. But the only way we know what is going to happen is if we had a crystal ball, and we don't. So we can use past historical data to try to see where Turbo is going to go, if it's going to stop now or if there is more pain ahead. Guys, this video, we're going to go back over the last 4 all-time highs for Turbo and how much they retrace to try to get an idea of if the pain is done or if we have further to go. Guys, it's going to be a great video. We're going to get into everything Turbo and more. But first, I want to welcome you back to Freeman Finance and Crypto, where if it makes money, it makes sense. Guys, from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly grateful for every single one of you. But if you're not subscribed, please pause the video, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification. Now let's get into the video. Like, why is Turbo selling off? It just pains my heart. There is so much good going on. I mean, look at these exchanges. 105 plus exchange. Binance, KUCOIN, Kraken. There's a Coinbase futures listing. What is going on? But history is repeating itself. And if you're like me, that has been here through all-time highs and seen the retracement, it is very painful, because we know this community is so incredibly strong, and it just really sucks to see the price go down. Guys, my heart hurts with every single one of you. But let's get into it. This is the all-time price on Dex Screener for Turbo, currently sitting at $541 million market cap. And we look back here, I'm not going to go over this all-time high because that was right after launch, but we're going to go over this one, over this one, and over this one, and then obviously the one in question right here. So let's get to the first all-time high that happened a few months after the launch of Turbo. So when we look at this, let's draw a fib level right here, swing low to swing high. And you could see right there that Turbo came to around the 786 level right there. So let's just make a note right here, 786, okay? So that took it down from 0.001. Remember, guys, I always talk about these psychological levels, 0.001, and it took it all the way down to 0.00027. So what a time that would have been to get in, right? But then it had another pump, and it did, and it didn't happen that far after the first one. But if we look at this pump, and let's draw that up from swing low to swing high, and what a candle that was. If we look at it, this dropped down if we were to do it to under the 786 level. So we're going to have to get rid of this, and let's take this out and go from that big candle and go down. That was an 80% retracement on that one. So that would have been equivalent to the 800 level. So we've got a 78% retracement, and then we have an 80% retracement. Well, what did we have after the big one that everyone remembers? That's when a lot of people got involved with Turbo, was after this one right here. So we went from a swing low right here up to swing high, and we could see that before it was all said and done, we tapped on the 786 level 1, 2, 3 times before barely staying off of it right here. So what does that tell us? After 3 of the previous 4 all-time high, we retraced 78.6% twice. And then one time we retraced 80%. So let's just call it all 78.6 for the sake of doing that. And I know that's not what everyone wanted to hear, but now let's take a measurement off of where we are currently off the recent run that we broke the previous all-time high. So that's good. We did not get rejected, and where it could potentially go down to if history is going to repeat itself. So let's make this chart a little bigger, guys. And I am not counting this right here, because if we look at that whole pullback was like a day and a half. I want to count this more or less on like the daily chart, and that's how I like to do them. So we will call this whole thing one pump, very similar to how we did back here. Back here, we didn't count this day start right here, nothing like that. So we're counting all in one motion. So if we do that, if we do swing low to swing high, try to get as close as we can right there, you could see that we are currently at approximately the 618 fib level. Now, that's a very popular fib level to do a retracement, but we've seen in history that it has went down further than that. And in a second, I want to look at what that level would look like for Turbo, but also what are some bigger things that are bigger than Turbo that could potentially stop it from reaching that historical level again and taking off, blowing past the previous all-time high and getting to the Turbo potential that I know it can absolutely get to. So if history repeated itself, that would put it somewhere around this line right here. And you could see on this fib level right here, it says it would have been 0.0068. And that would be painful to see. I hope we do not get to there, guys. I really don't. That's another 17% from here, which would take Turbo down to about a $400 million market cap. And I was so proud of Turbo. Turbo was holding well over a penny for a few days, man, and I did not think it was going to start dipping. And honestly, I didn't expect it to dip right here, but that just goes to show that I forget history myself. And sometimes we got to look at the charts to see what is going to happen, but what can stop this from happening? Well, I just want to highlight a few things really quick. Turbo is listed on 105 plus spot exchanges, okay? I believe there is a Coinbase listing coming soon. The X account continues to grow. When we take a look at it, it wasn't but like a month ago. This was at 76,000 followers, and now they're at 86,000. I know a lot of those 10K followers probably bought in somewhere during this hype up there and are probably in a loss right now. But if there's anything encouraging, and as always, guys, when there's ever financial advice, I'm Scott, slightly a degen, and loves finance, and I forgot history last time, but now we're doing a history lesson. You know, there is a history lesson that people that bought at the top were in profit. People that bought in the top right here were in profit at one point. But what do we have that can make this chart turn around before it reaches the 786 level, before it reaches the 80% retracement? And that is a Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin is sitting just a hair under the previous all-time high. It hit 73,000, has retraced a little bit. There's a lot of uncertainty coming up with the U.S. election. Fiscal policy all around the world is getting easier and easier. America this coming week is cutting interest rates again. Last month, they cut them by 0.5%. Canada cut rates by 0.5%. China is inflowing liquidity into their market, which reaches globally, guys. So those are the things that could stop Turbo from potentially reaching that 786 Fibonacci retracement levels. But the more and more I get into technical analysis, it's really amazing how it's almost like the fib levels speak to the asset. And it's just really interesting to know. But guys, let me know, where do you think Turbo is going to top out at this cycle on the high side? But before that happens, where do you think it's going to bottom out at on this retracement? Guys, watch this video up above. And if you're not a part of the Freeman of Finance family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.